What's going on, guys? It's the Miniature King. Thank you for stopping by on the channel. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Today, guys, I'm going to be showing you guys 2 ways to pretty much make Infinite Warfare look better. Now, this is kind of interesting because we've never seen these 2 features ever in Call of Duty, and I'm not sure if you guys have seen videos on this. I'm a little bit late on this information, but there's still a lot of people that don't know that you can change this features in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and it's something that needs to be changed, I feel like, for each and every one of you, because by default what it's set on is just doesn't look good whatsoever. And I'm going to compare the 2 features when you turn them off and on, and you guys can play around with it and see what works for you and what looks best on your TV. Now, I'm not sure why these features are even in the game. It just doesn't look good whatsoever, and I'm talking about motion blur and film grain. So if you go to your settings, you'll see film grain and motion blur. The first one we're going to go over is film grain, and we're going to compare what it looks like when you have it off and on. But by default, it is turned on 100%, and honestly, you should just turn this down all the way, and here's why. So on your screen, this is what it looks like when film grain is turned all the way down, and this is what it looks like when it's turned all the way up. And honestly, there's not that much of a difference, but if we amplify this and give it more grain, this is what it will look like. This is something we call noise in an image, and you don't typically want this when you're playing video games, which is why I suggest turning this all the way down, because it's just not needed when you're playing the game, and will just make your image look crystal clear, and you'll have no noise when you're playing Infinite Warfare. Now, motion blur is the next one we're going to be talking about, and I myself and a lot of people don't really like it. Some people are even getting motion sickness from this, and by default this is turned on, so I suggest turning this off, and I'm going to compare what it looks like when it's turned on and what it looks like when it is turned off. So the one on the left is the one with motion blur turned off, and the one on the right is motion blur turned on. I tried my best to compare each one side by side. I don't know if I did a really good job at it, but it's the best I could do. But another example is just me running around with motion blur on. As you can see, my gun gets all blurry, and why in world would I want my gun to get blurry? This happens all the time. If you move around, your screen gets a little bit blurry, and this can impact, when you're playing a pub game. Like, you could do terrible if your screen's all blurry. How are you going to be able to see the enemy? Motion blur is more important than film grain. You can honestly have film grain a little bit on, but just make sure you have motion blur turned off. This will give you headaches, and honestly, I just don't know why this is even in the game, and why on default this is turned on. But guys, if you want Infinite Warfare to look normal and like a normal Call of Duty in the past, make sure to turn these off. But guys, make sure to drop a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe for daily Call of Duty content. As always, have yourself a fantastic day. Peace out, guys.